সুপ্রিয় দর্শক সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি টিভিএন24 আয়োজিত নিয়মিত অনুষ্ঠান টিভিএন অ্যানালিসিস। আমি হাবিব রহমান আছি আপনাদের সাথে। অনুষ্ঠানটি সরাসরি সম্প্রচারিত হচ্ছে নিউ ইয়র্ক স্টুডিও থেকে। আজকে আমরা বেশ কয়েকটি বিষয় নিয়ে আলোচনা করব। আপনারা জানেন ইতিমধ্যে ট্যাক্স সিজন স্টার্টেড এবং এটা রীতিমতো অনেকে ফাইল করে ফেলেছেন এবং দিস ইজ দ্য টাইম। আপনি যদি W2-W4 পেয়ে থাকেন অটোমেটিকলি অথবা 1099 থাকেন, আপনার হিসাব কিতাব রেডি আছে, ইউ আর রেডি টু গো। বাট অন্যান্য বছরের মতো, unlike any other years, this year's tax return is going to be very different. And we will discuss few key points, many things interesting. We'll talk about President Trump is giving $1,000 to your child's account. Why and how can you get it? And what's the benefit of it? And এটার মধ্যে ম্যাচিং আছে। The Bank of America announced that it's going to be $1,000. They will deposit. তারাও $1,000 এখানে ডিপোজিট করবে। But what is it? How is it? Who gets it? How to get it? And how long it stays? We'll discuss today. We'll also discuss a few other things, the key points such as overtime on tips. This is very important because এখানে tax যেরকম subtract করা যায়, you can also earn and save a lot of money. Okay, accounts for Uber drivers, special things that we're going to touch on this, especially they get a lot of tips. Okay, earned income tax credit, EITC, আমরা আলাপ করব, and the bracket of কারা পাবেন, how to maximize it, who gets it, who doesn't get it, and how it diminishes যখন আপনার ইনকাম বাড়তে থাকে when you make more and more money. So how to get it and how to maximize it, we'll discuss all these things. And to discuss all these things, today I have invited Michael Mutazidi, CPA.
Thank you.
As usual, thanks for coming and making time.
Yep, of course.
Right now, it's a tax season. I know you're very busy. We already filed many taxes.
Yeah, we're probably up to over 200 already.
200 today?
This week.
This week. So that means that's how you were busy.
Everybody wants to come in early, but there are things that a lot of people are missing, right? Everyone wants to file now because all the extra money you might be getting, but everyone has to be realizing that you got to make sure you have all your information. You have to make sure that your stocks, right? Robinhood, Fidelity, they're not coming out to mid-February. So how could you be filing your taxes now?
Yeah, those
right?
who are in the stocks.
Correct. So just make sure you're well aware of that. And if you do have stocks, don't go till you have that in place.
Okay, that's what other things they should be getting ready. I can throw in quite a few things. For example, let's segment them. People who have W-2 and then people who are independent, self-working, such as Uber and whatnot.
Yeah, so all the drivers, they can file now. The only issue we've been seeing is that the New York City e-filing system is still not up and running.
The New York City?
E-filing.
E-filing is not up and running.
Yep.
Okay, and that causes e-filing with the state.
With the city.
With the city. Okay, so what are you doing?
I mean, for a lot of those people, we finish the tax returns, and as soon as it's available, we're hitting the button.
Great, but you can paper file it.
No, even paper.
You don't do paper.
No, everything's on draft still.
Okay, wonderful. So
it's always something. Every year, it's always something.
Okay, any time that it's going to get up and running on a resolve date?
I was hoping this week. Maybe it's beginning next week. Who knows?
Well, this week is gone. Today is Friday.
Yeah.
So I would say Monday, Tuesday, hopefully.
I would say by next Friday.
By next Friday. So you're taking like good 10 days, good 7 days, let's say. Okay. Tell me, why is it the one big beautiful bill that signed into law in July last year, 2025? Why is it going to be different from any other year's tax filing?
Because there's so many extra deductions, things that you've never seen before. Right, you got the overtime, you got the tips, you got the car loan interest you can deduct, and these are all what they call above line items.
Right. Okay. So let's take some scenarios. From you can bring up one scenario where that can help.
Let's just bring it up as also with the standard deduction increases.
Yeah, of course.
We have all those special bonuses.
Yes. Right.
So let's do one topic at a time.
What is the standard deduction, just for the viewers, so that they understand what they're hearing and talking about, what you're talking about?
So look, the standard deduction is that portion of your income is not taxable. Now you get that just for breathing.
Yeah.
Okay? It's very simple. Everyone gets that, right? But why is this year so important? Because we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about itemization and the huge benefits out of that.
Okay, that's standard deduction.
Correct.
And how you are actually, who are these people who gets the standard deductions? First of all,
it's everyone gets a standard deduction.
Regardless.
Right? Regardless. But people who are, 65 and older get extra bonus this year.
Yeah, senior $6,000.
Correct.
And who does it apply? Who doesn't it apply? And how does it work?
So basically, just say my income was $100,000, right?
Yeah.
And and you're married filing jointly.
Okay.
So you take $31,000 off the top.
Right there.
Right there. Right. So now I'm only taxed on the 69.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. So that's
important. But going back to the other topic with the overtime and the tips.
Right.
That's on top of the standard deduction.
Okay. Now let's make it.
Let's do one scenario very
Yeah,
simple.
exactly.
Very simple scenario.
Yeah.
I'm a waiter, right? I have a W-2, right? And I have, say, $25,000 in tips.
Fine.
Right? And I make just say I make $100,000.
Yeah.
Right? So what's going to happen?
That's salary and tips included.
Correct.
Okay,
so my
fine.
W-2 says 100, but it also on the W-2s, as long as you bring proof, we can deduct up to 25,000 married filing jointly.
So that brings your total net income
Really 75,
to 75,
right? They were minusing the 31.
Yeah.
Just think about that, right?
Yeah.
So now I'm only getting taxed on like 50 and change.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? That's a huge, huge benefit that we've never seen before.
Great. These are the people with the W-2s.
These are people with the W-2s, and as well as their occupation qualifies for the deduction for the tips and the overtime.
Okay, so let me bring you back to the driving again.
Mm-hmm.
The people who are driving Uber, Lyft, many of them, they bought cars last year. Will there be a deduction for them
They've
this year?
always had the deduction.
They always had the deduction, just like any other
Right,
years.
that's what I'm trying to explain to you. This tax season and this tax return is incredibly complicated. I'm going to see a lot of people make a lot of mistakes this year.
Okay.
Because they don't understand all the laws and how the tax return works this year. So it's really, really important, and I'm bringing this up, that you need to go to somebody that actually knows what they're talking about and that can defend the positions that you guys want to take and maximize your refund. Because the way it's going to start is you got that 100,000, right? You got your negative 25,000. Then you have the standard deduction, right? That's going to give you a huge refund. And people who were never able to qualify for the earned income credit now can.
Okay, I'm going to go into earned income credit in a bit, but let's talk about child tax credit. Child tax credit, who gets it, who doesn't get it, and how can you actually get to the maximum level?
Well, child tax credit is $2,200, right? That's for having a child that's under 17, December 31st, 2025.
Right.
Right? That's when it is. Okay? Everyone can get the $2,200. That's easy. But you need to make a minimum amount of $2,500 to get at least $1,700 refundable. Refundable means in my pocket. Say I only made $2,500 for the year. Right?
For the entire year.
For the entire year. I have a child, right? I will get only $1,700 because it's refundable.
Okay.
Right? There's no tax on. If I only made $2,500, there's no tax.
Right. There's none. Zero.
There's zero, right? So normally you say, okay, well, you're not going to get the full $2,200, but you'll get at least the $1,700.
So what if you make $50,000 and a couple, and you have a child?
Yeah, still you get the full $2,200.
Full $2,200.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. And you have 3? Does it make a difference?
Yes, of course. More than 3 doesn't help.
More than 3 does not help. So if you have up to 3 child, each one will get $2,200. And let's say, what's the threshold?
What do you mean?
Of income threshold?
It starts phasing down at, I think it's like 160. Yeah, something like that.
$160,000.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, so now that we are talking about child tax credit, viewers, মানে আপনার যদি বাচ্চা থেকে থাকে, আপনি কাজ করে থাকেন and you're filing taxes, আপনার বাচ্চা $2,200 পাবে regardless. এখন আপনার ইনকাম যদি অসম্ভব রকমের কম হয়, impossibly low, let's say $2,500, $2,500 টাকা বানিয়েছেন আপনি for the entire year. তারপরে আপনি $1,700 পাবেন. $2,500 still makes $1,700.
Correct.
Right?
But if it's zero, you get zero.
When it's zero, okay, so you have to have some income.
That's what I'm trying to say. The minimum threshold is $2,500.
Yeah. So even if you don't make income, earn some money. Find a way to earn money 2025. You will find a way.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. And if you go,
there's always a way.
There's always a way. We're just hinting, so I hope you understand. Okay. No, truly, I mean...
It's true. So nobody's going to live off it. Even if it's babysitting, whatever, it's nothing to worry about.
Right.
Because you're trying to get that $1,700 at least.
Yeah. So, আপনার ইনকাম যদি $5,000 হয়ে থাকে, $10,000 হয়ে থাকে, it doesn't matter. I mean, $10,000 is a very low income for the entire year. And আপনার যদি 2টি বাচ্চা হয়ে থাকে, you still get $4,400, like 2 kids.
Yeah, that's to get the $1,700. Yeah, correct.
Yeah, right. So,
but what I'm saying to you is the most important, like there's so many different changes and we're like all over the place right now.
Okay.
So let's just try to do like a scenario where it's like one after another.
Right. So, okay.
So we talked about the standard deductions and how they increased, right? The next thing we want to talk about is itemization.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're still on that piece. So
Correct.
you either can take the standard deduction or you can itemize. Why would you want to itemize? Because it's bigger, right? So what's different this year than last year, right? So you still can get the interest, right? That's not changing, right? The SALT is what's changing.
Yeah.
The SALT was capped at 10,000 last year, and it hurt a lot of people, right? Now the SALT is at 40,000. Okay, what does that mean?
I'm already loving it.
Of course you are, because you and I both live in Long Island.
Okay, please finish it.
So look, what does the 40,000 comprise of? So it's property taxes,
Right.
Right? That's what usually stop most people. It's also your state and local taxes that you paid, right? It's very easy to hit 10,000.
If I were to give you estimated numbers and a size of a family, right? Not knowing all the details and facts, right? Over the top, you could, let's say a family of 4 with 2 kids, right? Who are under 17. The family makes $100,000. They own 1 property, right? And let's make believe their payment is $4,000, the mortgage, right? And they're within the first 5 years of their,
Right.
house. What they're looking at as far as SALT deduction is concerned.
No, they're probably most likely making 100,000, probably almost maxing out that 40 right there.
Yeah.
Easily, right? You got that 40, right? I mean, automatically you're over 31,000 with your normal standard, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to take that, right?
Correct.
But you have other stuff and the interest. So maybe we're at 60,000.
So
Deductible. Right. So what is your income getting taxed at? Only 40,000 this year.
Yeah.
Now imagine they're also 25,000 is either overtime or tips.
Yeah.
So now they're getting taxed at say 30,000, right?
So what kind of refund they are looking at in these cases?
Because now they qualify for the earned income credit, which they've never qualified before.
And earned income credit is big.
Big. It could be up to $8,000, guys.
All right.
And I'm not including the child tax credits.
Yeah. So that's another, I would say, $2,200
All I'm
each.
saying to you is someone who never usually always owes money can actually see $10,000.
Yeah. So
Just on the federal level.
not even a state and city.
No, but the one thing you guys got to be careful with New York State does not give any credit for the overtime and the tips. They does not like the federal government.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's an adjustment you're going to make as an experienced CPA.
Correct.
But you must know that
You got to
difference.
know, that's what I'm trying to say. This is very complicated. You got to know where to dig.
Yeah. Where
to dig,
things
where
fall.
to ask the right questions.
Right.
Because a lot of people say, oh, this is my W-2.
Right.
Oh, it doesn't say overtime. But if you don't ask, and they can show, as long as you can show backup, that's fine.
Yeah. So people who are watching, let's say first-time home buyers, a lot of people bought home last year, right?
But let me give you a better one.
Okay,
all right?
a better one.
I have a client that's a waiter, right? He always either gets like $1,500 back on his taxes, right? This year he got over $8,000.
So a person who usually gets $1,500, $1,500, a single guy got a refund of
$8,000.
$8,000.
Why?
I envy
Tips.
that guy.
Oh, that's for a job application.
I envy him.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how
what I'm
big
talking about. This is what I'm saying. There's so many loopholes and so many ways you take advantage of it, as long as you're talking to the right person.
Hopefully so.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So I want to translate this in Bangla. দর্শক আপনারা যারা দেখছেন মাইকেল মুতাজিদ একটি উদাহরণ তুলেছেন যে উনার কাছে উনার একটা ক্লায়েন্ট আছে যিনি সাধারণত উনার সাথে ট্যাক্স ফাইল করে থাকেন সিঙ্গেল মানুষ ইনকাম আছে what does he do?
Waiter.
He is a waiter. উনি রেস্টুরেন্টে কাজ করেন তো স্বাভাবিকভাবে উনি টিপস পান এই ভদ্রলোক ইউজুয়ালি $1,500 ফেরত পান $1,500 যখন উনি ট্যাক্স ফাইল করে থাকেন এই ভদ্রলোক এইবার যখন ফাইল করলেন উনি পেয়েছেন $8,000. Okay, now it will depend on different scenarios. However, this is an example from real life example. So আমরা যখন কথাটা বলছি tax refund, আমরা যখন বলছি যে it's a big refund. This year is unlike any other years. আপনি এখন বুঝতে পারছেন যে ভদ্রলোক $1,500 পেত উনি পাচ্ছেন $8,000 tax refund. Please go on.
Now he's a single guy.
He's a single guy.
Imagine if he was married.
No
and had
dependencies, no
correct.
nothing.
Nobody. Imagine if he had 2 kids and was married.
I would say somewhere in
right?
15 to 17,000.
Exactly.
Because
I already got someone this year $40,000 refund.
Are you kidding me?
No.
You must be kidding me.
I'm not. I even had double check. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, I would say the same.
And it was all home care.
All home care. And a refund of $40,000.
That's correct.
You know, I think people should really pay attention and listen carefully. And that's why I think you're time to time saying the same thing, that you must understand one thing, which is get your paperwork done, go over this, and don't slouch, and sit down with a good CPA.
Yeah, you do. You guys really need to, this time you guys really need to focus on who you're going to.
Right.
You know, a lot of people went to the same people for all these years and don't want to switch. But guess what? If I told you you're going to lose $10,000 by not switching, it's just crazy.
It is crazy. Okay. This is a question I'm going to take from here. It says, if I work home care income about $115,000. Okay. Also, self-employed net income is $4,000. I'm sorry, $40,000. Is it 40? Yeah, it is $40,000. I have 3 child. How much can I get? We don't know a whole lot of details, so we'll assume few things, and then we'll.
Well, the home care, you're going to get all the federal withholding, the state, and the local withholdings back. That's just home care deduction, right? So I don't know what that looks like on that W-2.
Yeah.
Right? But it should be probably a few thousand right there. Right? I mean, you're going to have a very sizable return between the child tax credit and earned income credit.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, again, I need all the details.
Yeah, that's why I said we don't know a whole lot. We just know that your income. We know you have 3 child, but we don't know if you have properties. We don't know if you owe any back taxes. We don't know if you had any other income. We don't know if it's taxable or not. We don't know a whole lot of. We don't know your wife works. We don't know a whole lot of details. So that's why you need all those details. But looking at, on the surface, you're looking good.
You're looking very good.
You're looking very good. You should expect a good, handsome return. And again, make sure you sit down with the experienced, good CPA, first of all. You don't want to raise any red flags. Okay, talking about the red flags. Since people will get a lot of refund this year, most of them big refunds, right? What are the things you advise people to avoid?
So I've been sending a lot of my clients back to their payroll departments.
Why?
Because if they are willing to put right on that W-2, the overtime, right, then you're good.
Yeah.
You know, even if you get questioned, there's no question about it. It says overtime.
Right.
It says tips.
Yeah.
You know? Even
normally when you get the W-2, the overtime is not stated. It just says year to date. It says number of hours and how many hours you work.
Correct.
But do you think the ADP or any other company will do it?
Oh, they have been doing it.
ADP is doing it.
But you don't know if it's that payroll person who's doing the payroll of that company just using ADP.
Whatever software they're using.
Right, you don't know.
Okay, so you're sending them back to make sure they
so
state
like
that.
I've done quite a few police officers in New York City, all right? And New York City is actually showing how much overtime.
New York City. Okay, so that's that. We're not.
I do a lot of police officers.
Police officers, okay. So that is showing the overtime, and that's easier for you to track it down.
Well, what does that tell you, right? If they are showing it and they work for New York City, you can figure this out very easily.
Yeah. So the reason you're saying this is because no tax on overtimes. I mean, there's a limit, right?
Of course, $25,000.
$25,000. That's a huge.
Yeah, and the police officers do well over that, anyways.
I think they do like 30, 40, 50. Some of them.
Correct, but they used to have to pay taxes on it. This year, they do not have to pay taxes on it.
Usually, when you have overtime, you get time and half. Is the taxes time and half too?
What do you mean?
When you're paying taxes.
Well, it's based on whatever your gross is.
Okay, so based on the gross, not on individual hours and stuff like that. Okay, yeah, I had a question. So
because remember that half overtime, half
time and half.
But you have 1.5, right?
Right.
That half is what we're trying to get out.
Yeah, not the entire thing.
Correct.
So if you're making $10 and you go extra overtime, let's say you make $15, you pay that $5.
Correct. But that's what I'm saying to you. That's what we're taking out. But again, it's not like we've ever seen this before.
Correct. All right, let's talk about Social Security income and seniors. Let's talk about this. So what they are expecting and what should they follow and what should they avoid?
Well, look. So when it comes to Social Security, right? Most people don't get taxed on their Social Security. But when you have
$32,000.
Yeah, but once you have a certain amount of money, right, because you're married filing jointly usually, right, then a portion of it does become taxable.
Portion of it.
So say you have a pension, right, a pension payment, right, that's going to definitely make it taxable.
Yeah, because you get to go over the threshold.
Exactly. It's very easy to go over the threshold. The max they can tax is 75%.
Compared to other years, what they're looking at this year?
There's no real benefit for that, but the only difference is you get that extra $6,000 on the standard deduction that we were talking about.
So whatever deduction was there, you just add $6,000 to it.
Correct.
And then it lowers
you got
it
the
down.
bonus, so it usually even out.
Great. And people who are not even getting to $32,000, what happens to those people?
Into zero.
Do they get anything back?
They can get a small earned income credit.
Small earned income credit.
Yeah, I think it's like 600 and change.
Let's talk about small businesses. We talked about the Uber drivers. Let's talk about the street vendors, or anybody who's doing side hustles and stuff like that. Let's talk about two things. What they're looking at, because they pay themselves, right? So it's kind of like a...
Well, look, if you're a side hustle, still going to go in a Schedule C, just like the Uber drivers, right? But if you are, let's say you're in the entertainment business, I work as a moving guy, right?
Yeah.
I'm moving furniture. Well, guess what? I get tipped, right? It's customary. I get tipped. That is also deductible.
Yeah, that's fine. But what I'm saying is, that I understand. What I'm saying is, like, lots of, if you go to Jackson Heights, or you go to, right by your office in Jamaica, right? You have those carts that they're selling day and night, right? First of all, they're running a business. That's one thing.
Yeah, but it's how are they taxed, right?
To who?
Are they a C corporation?
Oh, or
the independent contractor?
Yeah.
It matters.
So let's put those two scenarios, independent contractors and C Corp, let's say, for example. How would they, what would you suggest them to do to maximize their benefit?
Look, most importantly, I know now we're in January, so it's not going to help that much, but everyone who bought like equipment, right?
Yeah.
Any type of equipment, I don't care if it's cameras, a truck.
Last year,
a truck, anything, right? Realize you got that 100%, the bonus depreciation we always loved, that was about to roll off, we got it back.
So any equipment you bought, it's 100%.
You can use it.
100%.
Yeah.
So you bought a.
But it matters if you're, which, if you're an LLC, C Corp, you're on. It depends how you're taxed.
Explain that.
Right, because you got basically maximums if you're a Schedule C, right? You don't really have that many maximums with the C Corp. Right. There's other limitations, and there's other ways we can do it with the C Corp. Same S Corp, C Corp.
Same
thing.
LLC.
Right. But that's corporate taxes, and there's other ways around this stuff.
There goes a different route.
Completely different route.
Okay. And what would you suggest them? The people who are watching, there's a lot of people who are doing business, the side hustles and stuff. What would be your advice to stay within the legality, maximize the benefit, and then avoid red flags?
Look, there's no really red flags as long as you follow the code, right? So what I'm telling everyone is, if you bought something, you need to tell the person who's preparing your taxes. A lot of people buy stuff, and guess what? They use their personal credit card, right?
Yeah.
I want everyone to dig deep because there's so many deductions this year. You want to take advantage of it.
Correct.
I always drill my clients. I say, wait, let me see your personal credit cards. People forget. I was out. Oh, I used gas for this.
So you're doing the extra mileage for them.
Correct.
To figure out, even if this person used a personal credit card, these are the expenses actually should have been itemized as a business expense.
Yeah, think about it. People buy supplies on Amazon. Guess what? It's deductible. Just because you use a personal credit card, I can show it.
Okay, let's talk about Trump's $1,000 account. First of all, what is it? Who is it for? How do you get it? Then I'm going to get into other questions.
So the Trump accounts are for any child under 18 years old, all right, on December 31st. Okay? Anybody.
Anybody under 18.
That's just the Trump accounts.
Right.
Now, what's the benefits of the Trump accounts, right? You will get it, it'll grow tax deferred. What does that mean? When the child turns 18, it actually gets switched into what they call an IRA.
So this account, do they deposit $1,000 for that child?
That's only for the children born this year.
This year.
I'm talking about all
anybody
children.
else? Anybody
I'm talking about just generally all children, right? You can put
under 17.
Under 17, you can open a Trump account.
Right.
Right. You can put up to $5,000 a year, and it grows tax-free.
Okay. So
right. So it's growing tax deferred, right, till the child turns 18.
Right.
Then it converts into an IRA, right? That's the benefit, right? That's all tax deferred. The child turns 18, and then you have it's for their retirement. It's to start them off.
Or for the college, maybe.
Right, but imagine you usually can't do that. So it's great.
So it's IRA.
It
Roth
turns into an IRA.
Roth IRA or regular IRA?
Regular IRA, tax
okay.
deferred.
Tax deferred. Now, how do you open this account?
So we open it we open it using the tax return.
Oh, you use opening the tax return.
Yes, we open it using the tax return. What the $1,000 he's talking about is only for the children born this year. You get a free $1,000. The government gives you a free $1,000 to start that child off.
Okay. So, দর্শক আপনারা যারা শুনছেন, আপনার যদি 2025?
Yes.
20. আপনার ছেলে মেয়ে যদি জন্মগ্রহণ করে থাকে 2025, আপনি যখন ট্যাক্স ফাইল করবেন, আপনি সিলেক্ট করতে পারেন ট্রাম্প অ্যাকাউন্ট। এই ট্রাম্প অ্যাকাউন্টে আপনি যে অর্থটা জমা দিবেন, এটা ট্যাক্স ফ্রি জমা থাকতে হবে এবং কোনো ট্যাক্স দিতে হবে না এটার উপর। এটি আপনার ছেলে বা মেয়ে যখন 18 বছর হবে, it will go to IRA accounts, which is tax deferred, ট্যাক্সটা ধরা হবে না, ওকে? এবং Trump, who deposits $1,000?
The Treasury Department.
Okay, the Treasury, IRS, basically, এখানে এই অ্যাকাউন্টে যদি গত বছর আপনার ছেলে মেয়ে হয়ে থাকে, they will deposit $1,000, $1,000. So make sure you do that. You do it for their future, basically.
Correct. Like everyone who has a child born in 2025, I automatically open them up.
Correct.
Because it's a free $1,000 for doing nothing. You don't even have to put any money into it again, and that thing keeps growing.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, they will take that money and put that into mutual funds and stuff like that.
But if you put like $5,000 in, every year the child's born, you would have probably over $500,000 by the time
that child becomes 18.
Right. And then with an IRA, right, you can take it out for a couple reasons, right? You can take it out early, right, without getting the penalty, right? Same thing for a first-time house.
Right.
Right? I think for education and stuff like that.
So how does it differ from 529C?
But it's because here's the thing. Here's best way, right? I have a child, right?
Yeah.
I do a 529.
Right.
I do a Trump account, right?
Correct.
So this is all growing, tax deferred. Now he gets a full ride. Now what happens to your 529? But in this one, I get to keep the money.
Yeah.
529, you got a problem. You got to use it for educational expenses.
Yeah, only.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I totally forgot. So that's the biggest difference. Your child can tax money out.
I tell everybody,
not to do 529.
I've always said it.
Yeah, I never liked that idea because it ties me up.
Yeah, and especially because in New York, school's basically free.
Yeah, true.
So why would you ever do it?
Why would you do that? But this one, imagine your child born in 2025, you open an account, Treasury puts $1,000, you put $5,000 a year. By the time that person becomes 18, you're looking at $500,000.
That's correct.
That's huge.
Of course.
So you're opening this account automatically once you find out
why
that.
would I not give someone $1,000 to start their life
I mean, even if you don't deposit $5,000, so
you
what?
Only
Get that
deposit that $1,000 and it actually grows.
The Treasury deposits $1,000 only for the first time, or
only for the child that's born in
last year?
Yes, correct.
Once.
That's it. The free $1,000. But it's it's a free $1,000. But here's the thing. Here's the limitations to it, right? During that year till 18, you can't take any money out. You actually physically, there's no way around it.
You can't touch it.
You can't touch it. Even with the penalty, you can't touch it, right?
Right.
There's no way around it, right? But obviously, after they turn 18, that's fine.
Correct.
Right? But the whole thing is you can only invest it in U.S. equities. Index funds.
Oh, indices.
U.S. equity index funds. So why? Because we're trying to invest in U.S. companies, right? So that's why it's coming from
no
the
ETFs?
Government. Index funds.
Just index.
Yeah, index. It has to be U.S. equities.
Equities. So
but it can't be like have other companies.
Like Nikkei in Japan.
Right. You can't do that.
You can't do that. In the U.S., maybe by SPY.
No, yeah, S&P 500, NASDAQ, something like that.
Or DIA, whatever.
Correct.
Right. Okay. So that's great. Now, a lot of people who sold house last year. What do you tell them? What should they do? And what are the consequences? You sold the house. You made money.
Right, but if it's your primary residence,
let's say it was.
Right, so if you're married, you get $500,000 tax free.
So up to $500,000
in profit. Your profit.
And if you live there for 5 years.
No, if I lived there 2 out of the last 5 years.
2 out of the 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, so
say I lived in a house, right?
For 2 years.
For 2 years, I rented it. I rented it for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
I still got to do it. Now the only thing you guys got to be careful with is depreciation recapture. You're gonna pay capital gains on that. That doesn't matter about the $500,000.
So a real life scenario. you bought a house and, for $400,000, you sold it for $600,000 last year, right? So there was forget about that thing. How does it work out in this scenario?
In this scenario, it's zero. You don't pay any taxes.
No taxes?
No.
Even though you gained that much?
Doesn't matter.
How about if you refinance and took
Doesn't matter if I refinance 25 times.
Doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. It's your
Even if you took
primary residence.
Right.
It does not matter.
Doesn't matter?
And you can move into your next one and do it again.
How wonderful is this?
I know.
This is good, really, honestly.
But this is not new, guys. This has been going on for
forever. I just wanted to make sure, I wanted to throw it out there so everybody knows.
Realize, like a lot of these guys, I always ask my clients before when they'll have the investment properties or two-family houses, are you ever going to sell this, okay? I always ask that.
They always say no.
They always say no, but then I always quiz them a lot. But look, at the end of the day, some guys try to be fancy and get all this depreciation,
True.
and they get killed when they sell that house. All of it's added back. So say I'm taking $15,000 depreciation on the house for 10 years.
Oh, when you're filing taxes, okay.
Right?
Okay.
So now I'm paying. When I sell that house, it doesn't matter if I made no money on it. I would have to sell it at a loss, not to have to pay $150,000 of capital gains.
Yeah, I think it needs more calculation. People who are doing this, I would say, do not take depreciation. That's what he's
If you're ever going to sell this house.
They will, at one point, nobody lives there more than 10 years. I mean, for the first time buyers.
A lot of people hold it because they want to give it to their kids.
Well, that's true too. But what I have seen is, like, when you're a first-time buyers, the max you live is like 10 years.
Yeah, but if you buy a two-family, then you buy a single family.
That's correct. That's correct.
Right, so you're holding on to that two-family.
Okay.
I'm talking about that two-family.
People who have rental income, what would you suggest?
Look, with rental income, my suggestion is, because the tax rates are so low right now, you kind of just want to take it where you don't pay any taxes on it. And the reason I'm saying that is, you want to take the real losses when the tax rates are much higher than today.
Yeah.
Because that's going to be a lot more meaningful.
You meant the interest rate?
No.
You meant tax rate?
So say I could show a loss of up to $25,000 today,
yeah.
Right? But I wouldn't. I would want to take that $25,000 loss down the road, because the tax rates are the lowest they've ever been.
The tax rate.
Do you think this is going to stay forever?
No, I think it's going to change next year.
A lot of stuff's going to roll.
If not next year, the year after.
What I'm saying to you is, say 5 years from now, right?
Yeah, it's not going to be there.
Right. So you got to be somewhat
cautious
with the depreciation, because you're going to end up paying for it down the road.
Okay. Any other thing that you want to discuss today, other than what we have discussed?
So we talked about that. We talked. Oh, the car interest we talked about.
Yes, correct.
Right?
No, we did not.
Okay. So again, this is called above the line item, right? So this is not including your standard deduction itemization, right? It's before that, right? So it's still reducing your income, like the tips, the overtime, right? So you can deduct up to $10,000 of interest that you paid for financing that vehicle. But there's a little caveat. Everything, there's a lot of stuff. There's a gray area there that everyone's going to have a unique scenario.
Okay, so yeah, that's true. Everybody's going to have it.
Because you don't know. Everyone's going to have a different model, but it's not all models.
Yeah. Different models and makes, and
correct. And they have to be they have to have certain parts like assembled.
So, but generally speaking, you get the. How does it benefit? Generally speaking, if you were to.
So I made $100,000.
Right.
Right. I got. Just I have no tips, no overtime. Right.
Correct.
I have my car loan, my interest, not your payments. Part of your payment is interest.
The interest you paid.
The interest you paid.
Right.
Was $10,000.
And the interest is very high this year. You know that, right? Last year. The interest
That's why I didn't buy a car.
Yeah. So that means it should be a good sum.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not that hard, right? Especially with everybody. And this is for passengers. You don't need to be self-employed, right?
Correct.
It's just normal people going to work every day, right? Then I'm only going to pay taxes on $90,000 minus my standard deduction, right? Which was like, say, $30,000, right?
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, believe it or not, even at that part, I might even qualify for earned income credit.
It's possible.
It is possible, because the earned income credit, like if you have the limitation maxed out like $68,000 if you have 3 kids.
Yeah, and
so I'm saying to you guys have no idea how much money's on the table.
I feel like I'm gonna run to your office and file taxes right now, because it's that much money you're talking about.
Crazy.
It's crazy amount of money. I'm just doing some calculation in my head.
It's crazy.
It's honestly insane. Okay, so people who are watching, we're towards the end of our program. What would be your suggestions?
My main suggestion is, do not rush to go get your taxes done, okay? Your life's not going to change within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because look, I want to make sure everyone is well prepared. And I guarantee you a lot of people are going to get issued new W-2s.
Really? Oh, because of the overtimes and stuff. Okay.
Exactly, because there's enough employees complaining,
Correct,
right?
correct.
So all I'm saying to you is everyone should wait probably in mid-February, especially if stocks, right? You know it's
Yeah.
not getting released till then.
Yeah, that's correct. I mean,
There's just no reason to rush, especially. It gives you also time to figure out who you want to go to this year.
Okay.
Who's going to maximize it.
right. So, Michael Motazdi is saying, I want to transit. Okay. ট্যাক্স যদি এখনো ফাইল না করে থাকেন, ডোন্ট রাশ। আপনাকে স্পেশালি আপনি যদি আরও অনেক ইনকাম থাকে আপনার ওই কাগজগুলো দরকার। স্পেশালি আপনি যদি স্টক মার্কেট থেকে গেইন লস ডাজন্ট ম্যাটার, এই কাগজটি মিড ফেব্রুয়ারি আগে আসে না, মধ্য ফেব্রুয়ারি আগে। সো আপনার উচিত হবে এই কাগজপত্র সব নিয়ে একটু তৈরি হওয়া। ওকে, ওয়াই? বিকজ আপনি কিছুক্ষণ আগে শুনলেন দ্য বিগেস্ট ট্যাক্স রিফান্ড in history, এটা হতে যাচ্ছে this year. Okay, maybe if we're lucky we'll get it next year too. Maybe, we don't know.
Right, but it's also going to cause the most problems this year if you don't go to the correct person.
The problem is this is the first time we're doing this. This is the first time, right? So you have lots of rule changes, lots of regulation changes. So if you আপনার যদি কাগজপত্রগুলো মানে organize them, take your time, then go to a good CPA. You can go to Michael Motazdi if you want. I suggest you do. But if you feel like to go to somebody else, make sure somebody who understands the tax is a qualified CPA, person you trust. That would exactly এটি বলছেন Michael Motazdi. That's exactly what he said. That's what I translated. Michael, thanks again for coming in. I think the next show we're going to do, we are going to have some more information up on the screen so people understand.
Yeah, well, I want to break out what standard deduction, the above the line items, so everyone understands exactly what they're going to get and how it's going to benefit you.
Correct. And thanks again for coming by and sharing your ideas. And I was surprised. You know, most people will say, you know, don't wait, file taxes. But you are saying the opposite. Wait, get all your shits done. Excuse me. Get all your paperwork in place, in line, and then come and go to see a good CPA. That's exactly what he's saying. Other people will say, rush. Your money, take your money, it's your money. No, he's saying take your time, get your paperwork.
Definitely.
And make sure you can maximize your benefit. Michael, once again, thank you so much. And I hope to see you soon again, and we will have more details, more breakdowns, so that everybody is digestible for everybody.
Exactly. There's just so many different
There's so many things going on. This is the first time, this is the first show with you this year, 2026. I have been waiting for you for last, how many, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks?
Good things happen to those that wait.
Yeah, I know. So, দর্শক ভালো থাকবেন, দেখা হবে পরবর্তী অনুষ্ঠানে। শুভরাত্রি।
TBN 24 টেলিভিশন দেখতে আজই কল করুন 7187776556 লগ ইন করুন www.totalcabelbd.com।
নিউ ইয়র্ক থেকে সম্প্রচারিত TBN 24 টেলিভিশন বিশ্বজুড়ে বাঙালির কণ্ঠস্বর।